In the vast and desolate snowfields of the polar world, the Arctic fox moves carefully through the endless white silence. His body, soft as fresh snow beneath the moonlight, seems like the final trace of warmth left behind in a frozen land abandoned by time. Tonight, let us sit beside the gentle crackling of the fire and quietly step into the true life of the Arctic fox. In the rhythm of drifting snow and distant winds, may every restless thought slowly fade, until only peace remains. Far beyond the noise of cities and human ambition, there exists a world where survival itself becomes a form of meditation. The Arctic fox has lived there for thousands of winters, beneath skies filled with pale stars and endless darkness. He does not seek glory, nor does he long to be remembered. All he desires is a quiet place beneath the snow, where the freezing wind cannot reach him, and where the silence feels safe enough to sleep. The Arctic fox understands something most creatures forget. In a world ruled by storms, calmness is not weakness. It is wisdom. While blizzards roar across the tundra and temperatures fall far below what most life can endure, he lowers his body close to the earth and listens carefully to the breathing of the snow itself. Every step is measured. Every movement is patient. He wastes nothing. Not warmth. Not energy. Not peace. His paws touch the frozen ground so lightly that it feels as though he is floating between worlds. He knows where the ice is thin, where the wind cuts hardest, where the hidden shelter waits beneath layers of drifting white. This understanding was not learned in a single winter. It was carved into him through generations of survival, through nights so cold that even the stars seemed frozen in place. And yet, despite the harshness surrounding him, there is something deeply gentle about the Arctic fox. When the long polar night arrives and darkness swallows the horizon for weeks at a time, he curls himself into a perfect circle. His enormous tail wraps softly around his face, protecting the last traces of warmth like a blanket woven from snow and moonlight. In those quiet moments, he becomes less like a hunter and more like a dream resting peacefully beneath the storm. Many creatures fight against the wilderness. The Arctic fox does not. He flows with it. He accepts the cold rather than fearing it. He accepts solitude rather than running from it. This acceptance gives him a kind of serenity rarely seen in the modern world. Sometimes he pauses on a distant ridge and watches the pale northern lights shimmer across the sky. The green and silver waves move silently above him, reflecting in his dark eyes. At that moment, the entire frozen wilderness feels alive with an ancient stillness. No crowds. No urgency. Only wind, snow, and the slow heartbeat of the earth itself. There are days when hunger follows him across the tundra like a shadow. Food is never guaranteed in the polar wilderness. Yet even then, he does not panic. He listens. Beneath the thick snow, tiny movements echo softly through the frozen ground. With astonishing precision, he leaps upward and dives headfirst into the snowdrift, disappearing completely before emerging again with life secured between his jaws. To survive here requires patience more than strength. The Arctic fox has mastered both silence and waiting. But perhaps the most beautiful thing about him is not his resilience. It is his ability to remain gentle in a world so unforgiving. The snowstorms never taught him cruelty. The loneliness never hardened his spirit. Instead, they shaped him into a creature of quiet awareness, someone who understands that peace is often found not by escaping the storm, but by learning how to rest within it. As the seasons change, his coat transforms with the land itself. In winter he becomes nearly invisible beneath the snow, a wandering ghost made of white silence. In summer, soft browns and grays return to his fur as the earth beneath the ice briefly awakens. Yet no matter the season, his nature remains unchanged. Calm. Careful. Present. Watching the Arctic fox wander across the frozen horizon feels strangely comforting. He does not rush toward tomorrow. He does not mourn yesterday. He simply walks through the cold with quiet trust in the path beneath his feet. And perhaps that is why his presence feels so healing. In him, we are reminded that life does not always need to be loud to be meaningful. Maybe you, too, have grown tired of carrying endless noise inside your heart. Maybe there are nights when the world feels too fast, too heavy, too demanding. The Arctic fox understands that feeling better than anyone. His life is proof that softness can survive even in the coldest places. That gentleness is not fragility. And that peace is something we build carefully, one quiet moment at a time. Now the fire burns lower. The wind outside has softened into a distant whisper. Somewhere far away across the frozen tundra, the Arctic fox disappears once more into the endless snow, leaving behind only faint footprints beneath the pale northern sky. Tonight, may you rest as he does. Wrapped in stillness. Protected from the storms beyond your thoughts. Let the weight you no longer need drift away like snow carried by the wind. And as sleep slowly finds you, may the spirit of the Arctic fox remain nearby, gentle and silent, guiding you into the deepest and most peaceful dream of all.